I'm Dr. Paul Dyer. Welcome to Dr. Paul 2 Minute Talk. We have gotten through some rough times. As you can see this depiction behind me between Pinocchio and Giuseppe, I wanted you to get through the feelings of understanding that sometimes people could be pulling your strings. Sometimes your emotions are pulling your strings. And you turned yourself into a puppet. But who's pulling the strings? Sometimes if it's just your emotions, it's your past experiences that's pulling your strings. It's your past fear that is pulling your strings. It is your past misunderstanding that is pulling your strings. And on top of that, you can put anyone in those hands. Basically, the only way you're going to cut those strings is to understand your emotionals and where they come from and how they have interacted and still acting in your life. When we come through this understanding of racial biases, misunderstanding, and just non-conversations. We're so often being talked to, talked at, and being pointed at to someone to prove that they're right and that you're wrong. That we miss the communication process. We miss not just throwing facts at each other. We miss what is the person trying to say. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not seeing something. And ask those questions in all your social media posts, and even in my social media posts, sometimes I'm looking to have a conversation. I'm not trying to stir up any misaction or deconstruct someone's thought process, but I want to have a conversation because I don't know where you're coming from. Unless we sit down and talk and have great long nights and long walks on the beach, I'm not truly understanding what your process is and how you got to that process. If it's just facts, then sometimes we have to understand whose facts are we listening to and why does the facts that you're listening to really ascend to you and connect with you so much? These are the issues that I have problems with. These are the issues that I have a misunderstanding with. A lot of times when we hear things, when we come to cognitive understanding and language, we hear through our ears, but it also affects this particular issue when it comes to cognition. It affects when it's not positive or it can be negative, it can affect your kidneys, it can affect your gallbladder, and it can affect your spleen. This also has a lot of trigger down to the vagus nerves, which also has different actions in different parts of the organs. So your body's reacting to the things you're writing, things you're hearing, and the things you're saying, and the things you're thinking. Now, Newton also had this, which is called scientific cognitive research. I believe in Newton what he was talking about when he's saying sometimes we have a idea that is far reach beyond our own understanding. Also, David Hume also believed that once we dig into our own fabric of society, we strip away everything that we thought we are. So allow yourself to be stripped away and to tear apart your own misunderstanding or your own understanding. I do it all the time. I love when people react. I love when people talk. But what I wanted to have to do more than anything is have a conversation. Because without that, we only create the wounds that we would continue to live in, live by, and move on through. And they stay the strings attached to us, and we remain the puppet. I hope this cognitive informational talk helped you. This 2 minute talk with Dr. Paul. I hope you find your peace. Hope you find your happiness. But remember, dig into who's pulling your strings and are you the puppet? I hope you many blessings, many safe, be care, be kind, be compassionate. Thank you. Peace.